I don't look at no mistakes as bad, right? And it's funny, people always ask me, would I change anything? And I say, if I change it, that means I was doing something that was wrong, right? If I'm doing something right, why should I ever change it, even if it didn't work, you know? And that's something I always did my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I like to say I stood on the side of right. Even if it didn't go the right way, I wasn't doing nothing wrong. I was trying to help somebody and got in trouble. And it's like if I say I want to do it different or say fuck it, it's like, damn. It's like then it's like you trying to do something wrong then if you ain't doing something right. It's very weird. I'm different like that. I don't like to look at regret or, you know, things that might have not went my way in that space. I'd rather just stay it's God's plan. The feds, we was under that investigation with them. If that, again, I don't even want to use them as a fucking moment. I'm gonna tell you why. It's real shit though. They put us under investigation, which means you're not even charged with a crime, but they're watching you. But what I didn't realize, my ignorance at the time and Irv's ignorance at the time, we didn't realize we had to pay lawyers, we had to pay PR firms to try and and never being charged with a crime. They had us under investigation for over 3 years. And basically while they're doing that, they went to all of our business partners and was saying, don't do no business with them boys. Who's not listening to the government? You know what I'm saying? So Universal was breaking their contracts with us and not paying us and doing things illegal. And we couldn't fight them. We're running, and we were trying to get everything going. They wasn't supporting our music no more. You know, the public doesn't understand how big that is without that machine behind you. It's the reason things came out. But at the end of the day, I understand them. I do. As crazy as that is, I understand the government, why they could misunderstand what we was doing. But we was, again, it's the government. They know better. They know exactly who I am. They know exactly who Irv is. They know my name isn't Gotti. It's fucking Lorenzo. They know that. But they didn't want to act like they knew that. And that was, to me, kind of disappointing. You know what I mean? And they just kept pushing in for nothing because they wanted us to tell on somebody that there was nothing to tell on. Someone that I just wanted to help or tried to help. From the right standpoint, like a completely legal business. You know, they didn't want to say, oh, we got seed money. Yeah, we got about $5 million seed money from Universal. No one talked about that, though. That's where the money came from. It wasn't from nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't from no illegal sources. So the books is the reason I'm sitting here is because they came up grade A. Again, I don't really have that fuck it moment. I really don't. It's fucking crazy. The fucking moment for me is on the crap table. Fuck it. Going through the stuff with the government, the United States of America, going through that is probably the biggest learning lesson. I learned how they move, reasons why they did things. You know, it was very eye-opening in dealing with that experience, and I don't wish that on nobody. And I'm blessed that I was able to get through it, because you could be innocent and you'll find yourself in a bad situation with those guys. Like I said, I'm blessed because of that. I'm still right here and everything's good. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, if you didn't do anything, you shouldn't be in trouble, but that's just not how it works all the time. Like I said, it was 3.5 years of due diligence, and it was really no case. When you get down to it, it was really no case. You know, with that expression, it don't kill you, make you stronger, I feel like the most strongest man in the world right now because of that. And from all my history, all my mistakes, man, I feel so strong. It's crazy. It's like you can't outflex with anybody. It don't matter. There was two big moments in that trial that, again, no one knows about these things. This is completely internal. I'm going to go backwards and then come to the first. I'm going to start with the last one first and then come to the first. The last one first was we're in deliberation. We was up for 2 charges. Mind you, we was up over 20 charges prior to that. They eliminated the other ones and only had 2 charges, which is money laundering and conspiracy to money launder, $1 million. Mind you, I was gambling 1.8 every week in gambling. On the books, official, they got it all. But they saying I'm money laundering $1 million. Just didn't make sense. We was billing over $200 million at the time. And we're paying tens of millions in taxes, and they're talking about $1 million. I'm like, I gamble $1 million. Why would I launder $1 million? Like, if you told me it was $100 million or something, then I could at least understand you better. But they didn't do it. So we're in deliberation. the process that people don't understand. If you've never been through trial, you may not understand it. The jurors send out notes if they don't understand something. So they sent out a note, and the note was to describe the law for conspiracy to money launder. And that note, so what that meant is when you're in charge, you go in order. So the first charge is money laundering. Second charge, conspiracy to money laundering. That means if I'm found guilty, they don't have to worry about conspiracy. It had to conspire to be guilty. It's 1, 2, 3, done. So that means I'm not guilty on the first charge, which is money laundering, but they're trying to fucking hook me and my brother on conspiracy. And if you understand conspiracy and that law and that language, this is conspiracy right here, which means this one could say he's heard you say this, and this one could say, and that's all they need for evidence to try and prove their case. I go fucking ape shit. Like, this is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because they wouldn't get to the second charge unless we was not guilty on that first charge. It took me about 45 minutes to calm down in the courtroom. I just started walking in circles, talking to God, talking about, you ain't gonna do this to me, not like this. Because it was crazy, because it was like, I couldn't believe they're trying to hem us on something like that. The jurors, the lawyers, so when they send that note out, the lawyers have to define the law and send a note back. And that's how that process works. And they did, and again, it worked out. The first one was, before you get to trial, you go through motion hearings. I told my lawyers I'm going through every process of every part of this thing. So usually, like, I'm on trial, I wouldn't go to motion hearing, your lawyers go. No, I'm there, I'm suited up and everything. So you're there with the prosecutors and the judge and the defense team, my defense lawyers, Earth's lawyer, you know, and I'm suited up. And the federal judge, I won't say his name, you can look it up though, but his federal judge said, "Why are we here? You know them boys are guilty." Man, my face dropped. And I just staring at him like, did you really just fucking say that? And I'm just staring at him. So I take my pad and I don't stop staring at him, and I just write down, is this grounds for an appeal, and pass it back to my lawyer. And because I didn't take my eyes off him, he realized, oh shit, I fucked up. He's not a lawyer. He's the fucking defendant. You want to talk about an oh shit moment? Your federal judge on your case is talking about why we here. We know they're guilty. Was fucking. My lawyer said, don't say anything. Well, he reached back to me and said, after you read the note, and said, we'll talk after that. He couldn't believe he said it. He's like, it's unbelievable the federal judge would say something like that. But I believe, you know, there's a plan for everything. And that was one of the plans. I'm telling you, as crazy as it sounds, in an odd way, it worked in our favor. Because I just felt that he knew he fucked up. So he was more lenient the next day for the other motions. You know what I'm saying? But that was a huge, man, you don't even understand how that feel. I don't wish that feeling on nobody. That's how bad it was.
Bob was out of town. It was just me. And Ultra shows up.
Ultra was my favorite.
Ultra shows up, and I was bugging. I mean, the thing about doing the show we did, right? We were not apprentices at any radio station. We weren't being groomed at commercial radio. We were two hip-hop fanatics.
The fucking moment was just like, hey man, swallow your pride, take that energy, and you help create a blueprint. Do that for yourself, man. Do that for yourself and your dream. Now it's time for you to think about your dream and do what you do, man. And
I really love the life that I get to live, and the sacrifices, all of that stuff. I love it. I acknowledge it. I learn from all of my mistakes, and I'm happy.
And once we start having artists talk about social issues that we have confronting us, because there's a lot today to talk about. I mean, we can create 1 million PEs, 1 million X-Plan, 1 million comments,